What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel, and we're gonna be explaining WW2. I've never talked about this on my channel because I'm a gamer, but basically, we're just gonna go watch some videos, and I'm gonna explain some stuff about the videos. Oh yeah, first I gotta explain some stuff. So there's this guy in Germany back in the day, in 19. So his name was Adolf. You know, chill down. Big mustache. Big mustache. Big mustache. Big mustache. He had a big mustache. And basically, when he was a kid, okay, so his parents, basically what they did is that he had his dad married another woman, and then his dad married his cousin. He didn't marry his cousin because there was a law at the time when you couldn't get a divorce, which is like, if you don't know what divorce is, it's like when you're married and you want to break up. And like his father dated his cousin, and they had 3 kids, but all of them died. All died except Adolf. And he had like another 2 of them, but he was very much spoiled. He was full of like too much shaking it everything. So much love. But like he had 2 other kids, and they kept moving around Germany and the other countries. But basically, Hitler went to art school for a while, and sadly, he got rejected. When I mean sadly, that was the worst thing ever for everyone. Because he was actually really good though. I mean, he was. I thought I said this. Like, he was good at his art, but then he was rejected, which made him think, oh, well, what do I do now? Maybe conquer, like, the country. Maybe just, I hate Jews. He hated Jews. He was pretty much racist to Jews, which are, like, a religion. And basically, he, managed to do some trickery, I forgot how, but he was able to, take over countries, to take over Poland and a couple other countries. Here are the videos, and here are Jews, and there was this whole entire thing. It was called the So basically, the Holocaust was horrible, and it killed multiple people. And I'm just gonna play the video.
Do you have a car? Do you have a clean driving record? Did you know you could pay as low as 30?
In the first half of the 20.
Interesting. There's do you want to help my Spanish countries? Sorry for the wait. I just gotta find Spanish. There it is. Okay.
20th century, Germany was the preeminent intellectual and cultural capital.
Dang it. Yeah, I'm just gonna be having to suffer for a while because I really want to help my Spanish viewers understand what they're saying. This is very important. They could learn. And I want to help everyone in the world that doesn't know language. I want to help What do I do?
Of the world, and Jews were well-integrated citizens. The emergence
I don't know what that's saying.
in the first half of the 20th century.
Yeah, that's not Spanish. I don't know what that's saying. Yeah, I picked a far. What is a far? Am I a far? I'm a far away. No. No, I don't want a far. No. I need something like auto-translate, Spanish. Espanol.
Germany was the preeminent intellectual and cultural capital of the world.
That is, I'm sorry, sir. You're gonna have to put on subtitles.
In the first half of the 20th century, Germany was the preeminent intellectual and cultural capital of the world, and Jews were well-integrated citizens. The emergence of Nazism and its leader, Adolf Hitler, changed Europe and led to the greatest destruction that the Jewish people have ever faced, the Holocaust. During the 1920s and 1930s, despite continuing anti-Semitism and occasional pogroms, Jewish communities were a large component of European society. Cities, villages, and towns across Europe boasted significant Jewish populations. In Germany, Jews were leading academics, artists, and politicians, as well as teachers, doctors, farmers, and shopkeepers. During this time, a fringe political movement began gaining ground in Germany, promoting an extremely racist nationalism. They were called the National Socialist Workers' Party, or Nazis, and their leader was a man named Adolf Hitler. Anti-Semitism was foundational to their ideology. In his infamous book Mein Kampf, Hitler called the Jewish people a noxious bacillus that lives as a parasite in the body of other nations. Once I really am in power, Hitler declared in 1922, my first and foremost task will be the annihilation of the Jews. In spite of rising support, Hitler and the Nazis initially failed to gain much ground in German parliament. It was not until after the economic collapse of 1929 that the party began to gain real political power. Social turmoil and strife led to a polarized and unstable political climate, and very quickly the Nazi Party became the largest faction in the Reichstag. In January of 1933, Adolf Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany. 1 month later, the Nazis claimed that a fire at the Reichstag was started by communists planning an insurrection, and used the fear of a communist takeover to abolish constitutional protections. Shortly thereafter, Hitler was given the right to govern without the consent of Parliament, effectively establishing a Nazi dictatorship in Germany. On September 15, 1935, the Nazis passed a series of notoriously racist laws called the Nuremberg Laws, which stripped Jews of their German citizenship, removed all of their political rights, and legally institutionalized their persecution. Many Jews attempted to flee the country, though their options of where to go were very limited. In September of 1939, Germany invaded Poland, officially beginning World War II. In the wake of German military expansion, a campaign of mass murder was carried out on the Jewish population. In towns and villages occupied by the German army, German military and police units, the most infamous being the SS, were instructed to carry out a war of annihilation on the Jews. Nazi soldiers, often with the help of local collaborators, rounded up Jewish men, women, children, and the elderly, took them to mass graves, and shot them to death, murdering roughly 2 million Jews within just a few years. To separate and control.
Sadly, the Holocaust was one of the saddest things ever, and Jews were also sent to factory camps if they were too young, and basically they had to work for the whole lives or else they would be murdered. And it was one of the saddest things in history.
The Nazis forced Jews into ghettos, small areas of cities and towns that were walled off from the rest of society. In 1941, it became law that Jews were required to wear a Star of David to identify them at all times. Disease in the ghettos spread like wildfire, and starvation was rampant. In January of 1942, Nazi leadership, representatives from various government ministries, met at what came to be known as the Wannsee Conference to coordinate their efforts toward the efficient annihilation of the Jewish people, known as the final solution. Deportations to the death camps became the Nazi regime's primary tactic of mass murder. Jews were sent in cattle cars to places like Belzec, Sobibor, and Treblinka, forced into chambers they were told were showers, and gassed to death. Some camps, such as the infamous Auschwitz-Birkenau complex, doubled as labor and death camps, where Jews were forced to work, and were then sent to the gas chambers to be murdered. This assembly line of mass murder continued for years, with thousands of Jews murdered every day. In the midst of this mass murder and destruction, despite impossible odds and relentless brutality, many Jews resisted. In the ghettos and camps, prisoners carried out acts of sabotage, smuggled weapons, and organized uprisings. Some fled to the forests, where they formed partisan units, bands of guerrilla fighters that often included both Jewish and non-Jewish fighters united against Nazism. These partisan units blew up trains, sabotaged Nazi operations, and fought head-to-head against German soldiers. Uprisings were waged in numerous ghettos, including in Krakow, Vilna, Bialystok, and Minsk. Spiritual resistance was also present throughout the ghettos and camps. Through observing holidays, studying Torah, upholding Jewish values, creating art, writing poetry, singing songs, spiritual resistors maintained dignity and upheld the strength of the human spirit even in the face of violent hatred, cruelty, and dehumanization. Throughout 1943 and 1944, the Nazis accelerated their genocidal plan. Ghettos were liquidated, and Jews from all corners of Nazi-occupied Europe were deported to death camps. April, Berlin was surrounded. Hitler committed suicide, and Germany unconditionally.
I think this part you guys don't know, but suicide is what a thing where somebody takes their own life, and basically Hitler did this because he knew that he was surrounded. And something that's I have to explain is that alright, so Japan joined them, which this guy. This country. Japan joined them, and Japan decided, hey, let me go test American boundaries. And basically they did that. And what they did was a very bad idea for Japan, because America was testing out some stuff. And they were testing out nuclear bombs. Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, which was like a base of America, which just sounds bad on paper, but like really useless if you think about America's whole situation. And basically, the planes, the people who were in the planes killed, like had to like go down with them. So like a lot of people died. Like I died from Pearl Harbor. And what America did was that basically they just decided, yeah, let me just send a bomb. 2 bombs. Their names were the Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That was named after the countries they were dropping them on. And folks said that it was as bright as the sun. It's like if Japan slapped America, but America grabbed a knife and started stabbing them multiple times till they died. That's how I can explain it. Just you did not do anything to America. They fought over tea, alright? They fought over tea. And yeah, basically that's how Japan decided. They left the war shortly after. But America did take them over, which was the funny part. Like, just imagine getting your butt beaten by slapping somebody, and now they just kind of own your territory, not your house. But yeah, that's as much I can explain. I'm gonna make more videos, and ask me in the comments if you have any questions. I am now Teacher Eddie. Now teach you. If you want to know about the USSR, I'll explain it. Which was a country that was helping till they decided no to Germany. I'll explain more because this video is very limited due to research and because I wrote down music. Bye-bye!